Okay, this is the first time I'm using this software that I just bought. This is the first video I'm creating using it, so bear with me. It doesn't look pretty, but it still should be able to get you through this problem. Um, Original equation, it says to use the quadratic formula, which you have to, you have no other choice, is 4x squared plus 8x is negative 7. In order to use the quadratic formula, we have to set everything on the left side equal to 0. Okay, so we bring this 7 over. So then you get a equals 4, b equals 8, c equals 7. Okay. The formula says to take negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all under a radical all over 2a, which gives us negative 8, because b is positive 8, the formula says negative, plus or minus b squared, so 8 times 8 is 64, minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is 7, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 4, which is 8, which gives us negative 8 plus or minus uh, the square root of negative 48i when you do this math right here. And that, of course, because we get a negative under the radical, we make that positive 48i, because the square root of I is the square root of negative 1, remember, okay? The square root of 48 breaks down to the square root of 3 times the square root of 16, and the square root of 16 is 4. So the square root of 48 is broken down into 4 radical 3i. And again, we need the I because that is a negative 48 under there. So I is the square root of negative 1. So we end up with negative 8 plus or minus 4 radical 3i. So then we get, let's see, equals, this is pretty neat, but I'm going to have to just get better at using this. We break this down to negative 8 over 8 plus 4 radical 3i over 8, and also then we use the negative 8 over 8 minus 4 radical 3i over 8, okay? All right, so then when you simplify, negative 8 over 8 is obviously negative 1 plus, and we use 4 over 8, we reduce that to 1/2, so it would be radical 3i over 2. 4 over 8 is 1/2, right? So radical 3i over 2, and then comma, your other answer is negative 1 again, because negative 8 over 8 is negative 1, minus 4, oh, again, radical, I'm sorry, radical 3i over 2, okay? So those are your two answers. Negative 1 plus radical 3i over 2, comma, negative 1 minus radical 3i over 2. And hopefully, as I keep doing this, I'll get better and be a little bit more neat. But that should, hopefully that explains how to do this problem for you.